Hello, it's Noah, and so now I'm gonna do a vlog of something else besides um, homework. So now I'm gonna make a vlog of something related to cubing. Um, so hold on a sec, I'm gonna turn the music down a bit. But basically, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna try to learn a bunch of new algorithms for the Rubik's Cube. Um, and I don't like learning new algorithms because it's a lot easier just to practice the stuff I already know. But maybe this vlog, well, in the same way that helps me do homework, it also helped me do very productive things when it comes to getting faster at the Rubik's Cube. So, anyways, so let's get right into the technical aspects of what I'm about to try to do here. So there's a lot of different ways I could get faster at the Rubik's Cube. I could learn, basically, well, there's a few different ways I can get faster. I can learn more algorithms. I can try to work on my TPS, like maybe my finger tricks, or I could work on my look ahead, stuff like that. But I think now, the thing that suffers a lot in my solves, I've noticed that compared to a lot of people, is my TPS. I'm not very fast when it comes to people who average like 6 seconds or faster. Well, not faster, you can't really average faster than that at the moment, but when it comes to people who average 7 or 6 seconds, they turn way faster than I do. And that's probably a lot of the reason why I average 8 seconds instead of 7 or 6 seconds. But my opinion, I think that the best way, the only thing you can really do to increase your TPS is to do a ton of solves, basically. Or you could do a ton of targeted practice, but still, it's just doing a ton of solves. You're not learning any new algorithms. You're just doing, like, let's say you want to get faster at your PLL algs. Well, you go to QQ timer and set the scrambles to PLLs, and then you just do that over and over again. Or you could just sit down and drill your algs, but that's really boring. So you just do, and what it comes down to is, the way to get faster at TPS is just do a ton of solves, which is what I would do anyway. So I don't want to like specifically target that for my practice or whatnot. So also look ahead is very similar to that, in that you could probably just get really fast look ahead just by doing a ton of solves. On the other hand, if you do targeted practice of look ahead, that would be really good. Your look ahead would increase much more quickly. But I think what I want to do instead is I just want to learn more algorithms. I feel like if I learn more algorithms, that will give me, the more algorithms I learn, the better potential I have to, like, because I don't want to just get down to a 7 or 6 average. I want to go even beyond that. So if I want to be able to go beyond 7 or 6 seconds, I feel like learning algorithms is the way to go. So now I have a lot of different choices for to learn algorithms. I have, I could learn some new F2L algorithms. I could learn like VLS. I could learn some ZBLLs, or maybe even full ZBLL or full VLS. I can learn a full subset. I can learn, there's CLS, BLE, one look last layer. There's a bunch of different alg sets I could choose from. OLLCP, and the question is, which one is the best one to choose from? Which one will be the easiest to learn, and at the same time will improve my times the most? And in my opinion, I think the one that will do that for me personally is learning better F2L algorithms. Now, I think my weakness in my solves is not really my F2L. To be honest, it's actually more my TPS in my last layer. But then again, I'm looking for the long term here. So basically, if I just spam solves the way I usually do and get my average down to a 7 or 6, I'm going to solidify knowledge of somewhat mediocre F2L. And then after that, it's going to be really difficult because at that point, if I want to learn more F2L algs, it's going to be much more difficult. Whereas if I learn it right now, I'll have gotten that all done. I'll have that all over with, and then once I get down to the 7 or 6 mark, then I can, at that point, I can work on other things. I don't have to work on my F2L. I can just say, well, my F2L is really good as it is. I mean, I can improve. I can always improve, but at that point, I might want to just focus on other things. So, long story short, I'm gonna learn a bunch of new algs for F2L. Now, why would I be learning F2L algs? I mean, the solutions I know right now are actually not too bad, and in fact, I'd say my F2L is either average, like the algs I use are either average or even above average compared to people who average around 7 or 6 seconds. Now, the reason why is so here's the thing with F2L efficiency. There's 2 basic ways you can go about trying to be efficient with your F2L, or you could use both of these ways at the same time. One is to learn very fancy algorithms for every specific case from every specific angle. That's probably not the most practical way to do it, but in my opinion, I think that's a good way to do it because that's not the way most people do it. Most people stick with basic algorithms, and then they try to make very good choices when they're doing their F2L pairs, and try to only do really good cases, and maybe even do some multi-slotting so that they can influence the next pair to make it an easy case. I feel like, well, that is very efficient and stuff, but it's really, really difficult. It's really difficult to do and solve smoothly because you have to be basically looking 3 steps ahead every single time for every single part of your solve. Now, eventually I'm going to need to be able to do that in order to get as fast as I want to get. But for now, I think I want to focus more on trying to learn the most efficient solutions for a lot of different cases. And I know there's a lot of algorithms out there that are not only efficient, but they're the quickest way to do a case from a specific angle. And I feel like learning all that will, even if I don't use them very much in solves, I feel like the cases, I will use them a lot in solves right now, but then as time goes on, I will use them less and less. You know what, I don't even know what the heck I'm saying anymore. Like, I don't even know if this is a good idea. But I still think this is a good idea because even if I'm not able to, if there's a situation where I can only see one case to do and there's no other viable options, then that case, if I know a really good alg for that case, then I can quickly perform that algorithm and it will have a substantial effect on my solve. I guess, I don't know. Anyways, I guess I should stop. Enough of the rationalizing of what I'm about to do or why I'm about to do this, but let's just get right into doing it now instead of just talking about doing it. So, yeah. So, here is the list of algorithms I wrote. Yeah, it's a lot. It may look like a lot, but it's actually only half of what is written because I wrote down the alg, and then underneath it I wrote down the inverse of the algorithm. So it's actually only half of this. Now maybe some of the inverses will be useful as algorithms in and of themselves, but at least for now, for most of these, I'm probably just going to learn all the algs without learning the inverse. So yeah, I wrote down a bunch of useful cases here that I don't usually use in my solves. So the goal for today is I'm going to go through this whole sheet of paper like 2 or 3 times, and it's going to be very intuitive and easy to learn the algorithms, at least for most of the algorithms. the hard part is going to be implementing them into my solves. That's going to be the hard part. So, but I mean, you have to start somewhere, and I'm going to have to at least learn and be able to recognize and be able to perform all of those algorithms, even if it takes like 3 or 4 seconds to recognize the case. And a lot of those I probably can't at this point. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go through that sheet like 2 or 3 different times and go through every algorithm. I've already started working on it a little bit. I've gone through like the first 1.5 columns. They're not really in columns, but something like that. So yeah, I guess in the spirit of the homework vlogs, I guess I'll let you know how my progress is going. So right now it's 1:21 p.m. and I'll get back to you. I guess we'll take it in small little chunks here. So let's go through. I'm gonna go through. Yeah, let's go through the entire rest of this front sheet of paper, and I'll let you know when I finish that. Hello there. So it's now 1:45. Small note. I think I pronounced this wrong in one of my other homework vlogs. It's apparently pronounced Toho project. The Toho project. Touhou. I was pronouncing Tohu, but I guess it's Toho. So anyways, that's what I'm listening to. So it's 1:45. Yeah, I finished going through the first page. It's actually way easier than I was expecting because yeah, a lot of the solutions here I wrote down are very intuitive. There's only a few that are slightly non-intuitive. Most of them are very much similar to like intuitive F2L. And they're just like really easy to follow, remember, and memorize. So luckily, yeah, I have gone through this whole first sheet of paper. I mean this front page of this sheet of paper. So yeah, and yeah, again, it may look like a lot of algs, but it's half this. It's half this because in each little circle I have there, or each little enclosed part, there's 2 algs, and the second alg I'm not memorizing it. That's just to set up the algorithm. So basically the inverse, I do the inverse to set it up, and then I do the alg above it. That's the one I'm memorizing. So yeah, so again, yeah, some of these inverses might actually be good algs, but for now I'm not going to learn them. I'm just going to learn the actual algs. So yeah, the second half of this should be very easy, and it should actually be easier because there's less of them, way less of them here. So hopefully I'll only take like 10 minutes to get through this. So yeah, it's 1:47, and I'll get back to you when I've gotten through this back part. So it's now 2:02 p.m. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention it's the 7th of June. It's on a Sunday. So anyways, I went through all the algs, and yeah, so I bet about maybe 70 to 80% of these I now have memorized. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that I can instantly do them in solves and instantly do them quickly, but I kind of have them all memorized in the sense that if I see it and I look at it for a few seconds, I can know the alternate alg that I wrote down here. So, or the advanced algorithm. Now some of them maybe I don't know yet. Like if I was confronted with the case, I bet at least a few of these probably would know. So that's why I need to go through it again. So I'm going to be going through it one more time, and hopefully that doesn't take too long. It might take like half an hour. So yeah, it's 2:03, and I'll get back to you when I've done that. Hi, so it is now 2:22 p.m. And also, I don't know if you could tell from earlier, but I appear to have gotten a cold. So my nose now is runny and it's stuffy, and it sucks. Gosh dang it, why do I have a cold? Yeah, it only took 20 minutes to go through all the algs again. So yeah, I'm pretty solid. I feel like these are all pretty solid now. Like if it, I'm pretty sure I won't forget how to do any of these. Now there's a few cases where I'm not sure. Well, a few cases I'm not entire. A couple of cases I'm not going to use, and then a couple I'm not really sure on. But um, yeah, I I think that's good. So I feel like these are very worthwhile algs to learn. Like they're not super fancy, like they're kind of fancy, but like the finger tricks are really good for most of these algs. I wouldn't choose algs that have awkward finger tricks, of course. So, and they're really efficient solutions. So I feel like this will actually help me. I really hope it does help. So yeah, that's pretty much it for learning the algs. That was actually way easier than I was expecting. Um, yeah. So yeah, if only I could say I was done learning those algorithms, but I really won't have learned the algs. I can't say I quote unquote learn the algs until I'm able to do them in solves on a consistent basis and well use them efficiently for one and for another use them quickly. Um, and I won't be able to do that right away because I'm used to doing things the old way. So yeah, um, so all that's left for me to do is practice practice it over and over and over again until I finally get it down. And I have no clue how long that's gonna take. I really do not know how long that's gonna take. I've done this one time before with F2L, like several years ago, and I implemented a ton of new algs into my solves all at once, and I can't remember exactly how long it took for me to fully implement them, but it was quite a long time. It was like several weeks, if not months. Um, Now I'm hoping it will not take that as long as I do practice a lot, like a ton per, do a ton of solves every day, even do a ton of slow solves. That will help a lot too. Well, all the solves are going to be slow. I'm going to have to turn really, really slowly at first in order to implement them because if I'm turning fast and I'm trying to solve fast, then I'm just going to revert to my old algorithms, and that's not going to be what I want. So, yeah, I don't even know what my average is. My average could be anywhere from like 15 seconds to 25 seconds. I don't really know, but my average is going to suck for a little bit while I try to implement all the algorithms. But hopefully, it'll accomplish my long-term goal, which is to um, not only implement the algs, but implement them in a way where my solves dramatically get faster. So, yeah. Uh, Now, this is not the end of my F2L journey because I'm also planning to learn some more things. Well, first of all, any random tricks that I'm not aware of that would help my F2L, I would happily learn those. But there's this really big thing that I want to learn for F2L, and that's F2 Gen F prime solving. Um, and apparently there is the method JOLL. Wait, not JOLL. JSS. Jaden last second slot or something like that. But that's only like one subset of F2 Gen F prime, apparently. So, but anyways, at some point in the future, maybe even the near future, once I've implemented all these new algorithms, I want to try to implement F2 Gen F prime tricks into my solves too. Um, but that's in the future. I don't want to do that right now. Right now I just want to get these algs down. Um, so I'll keep updating you on my progress on this. Because otherwise, if I don't do vlogs like this, I might be tempted to just give up and just not implement the algs, or maybe just give up and keep it all together. But yeah, I really want to do this, so I'm gonna do a session. I'm really scared to see what the average is gonna be. It's probably gonna be really bad, like 15 seconds, because I'm gonna have to turn really slowly. But yeah, I'll probably just give daily updates whenever I do a session or whatever. I'll give you some updates on how that's going. But yeah, so I'll get back to you when I've done my session and let you know how it went. Actually, never mind. There was another thing I want to say. So, you may be wondering. I mean, your times aren't going to go up that much. You're just now. If I was to just implement the outs and do literally nothing else, yes, my times would still not be that bad. Maybe they'd go to like 10 seconds or 11 seconds. But here's the other thing I'm doing. I'm not just implementing the algorithms. I forgot to mention this, but I'm not just implementing these new algorithms. What I'm also trying to do is actively look at my F2L cases and try to pick the best one. And not only try to pick the best F2L case, but try to influence my next F2L case, which is basically the whole idea of multi-slotting. So that is probably going to be the even more difficult part about this, what I'm about to try to do here. But all I'm trying to do with this is try to make my F2L really, really efficient and fast. And the only way to do that is to, one, learn these more efficient algorithms, and two, actively look at my F2L case and pick good cases to solve, and try to influence my future cases by doing alternate algorithms, which is multi-slotting. So trying to multi-slot whenever I see an opportunity to multi-slot, and trying to pick the best F2L case to solve at any given time. So that is the reason. That is the main reason why my times will probably go up to like 15 seconds or more. So yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention. But yeah, I will now do my session. It's about 2:52. Let's see. Yeah. Oh no, it's 2:32. So yeah, I'll do a session. It might be kind of painful, but that's how it's just gonna be. That's how learning and trying to do new techniques is. It's just painful at first, but in the long run, it will be awesome. So yeah, I'll do that session. Probably do it for a couple hours or a little more than that. Get back to you, and I'll let you know how that went. I have no idea why my phone only charged 3% after it died. So anyways, yeah, I'm done with the session. It is now 5:57. I did 387 solves. And the average of those solves was, drum roll please, 16.94. Okay, I'm gonna show you this session. Very close. Way actually slower than I expected. I was hoping it'd be around 15 seconds, but yeah, we got here is a 16.94 average of the session. My best average of 100 was 15.0. So as you can tell, it's very inconsistent. My best average of 12. Oh, my best average of 50 is the current average of 50, which is 14.4. Best average of 12, 12.2. Best average of 5, 10.1. Best made of 3, 988. Now, there's two I would call best solves of the session. The actual best solve is 742, but that solve I kind of got out of the mindset I was supposed to be in. So because I saw a really, really easy setup into two 3-move inserts, and I kind of just spammed TPS on that solve. Of course, it didn't turn out too well. I got a 7, of course. But yeah, there was that solve, and then the 755 was probably, I would say, the legitimate best solve, because I was actually doing slow turning for that. Well, I mean, it may not look very slow, but I was actually, looking at the F2L, and the way I was doing for the rest of the session, I got a 7.5. So I'll just show those. I wanted it to be fast. Okay. That's kind of like cheating. Come on. So anyways, I'm feeling a little bit discouraged because I feel like even though even though I'm turning slowly enough to average 16.9, I still don't feel like I'm doing optimal F2L because um, I feel like my mind still likes to gravitate towards certain F2L pairs and then just fixate on them. Well, not fixate on them, but basically decide to do that pair and then look for the next pair. But what I really should be doing is I should be seeing a pair, and then looking around while basically I should be doing an F2L. I should be doing an F2L pair, and while at the same time as doing that pair, I need to be looking around. And if I see another pair, I can't just automatically store that pair for the next pair and then start looking for the next pair, because what if there's an easier pair that comes up? That's the difficulty with choosing the correct F2L pair to solve, because how are you supposed to do that? How are you supposed to basically you're supposed to be solving an F2L pair at the same time you're supposed to look around the cube, and by the time you finish your pair, you're supposed to have looked at 2 or 3 pairs and figured out which one is the best pair. I don't understand how you're supposed to do that. How do you do that? You the only way I can see getting fast is basically just spamming TPS and just doing whatever pair you see, but like I don't understand how you're supposed to make good choices in F2L. Even with the slow turning, like I wasn't able to do that very well. Like I was turning slowly and I would see an F2L pair and then I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna do that pair, now I'm gonna look for my next pair. But that's not the mindset I'm supposed to have. I don't know how to do that. How are you supposed to do that? Does it just come with experience? Like the more you cube, the more you see ahead of yourself, the more. But it doesn't make any sense. Like you have to have the mindset. You have to have the mindset of choosing your best pair every single time. And then you have to do that over and over again. So, I don't know. Guess I'll try doing that next time. Um, I don't know. What? Hold on a sec. So yeah, I don't actually know how I really want to go about this, because like I really don't feel like trying to like force my brain to learn how to choose between the F2L pairs, and it seems a really overwhelming thing to try to get fast with, but I'm gonna keep at least trying to implement the algorithms, if at the very least. So anyways, I guess that's all for this video. Tomorrow I think I'm gonna probably do some kind of homework. Well, I don't know, not sure. Maybe I'll do a cubing thing tomorrow, or I'll do a homework. It'll be one or the other, but that's what I'll do. So goodbye.